Good morning and welcome to Moopsy in the Morning for April the 17th, 2025. I am Mom and Chris will be right here. I'm hitting some coffee. So Satali says, I did the rocket TFO a few minutes ago. I should have waited. I now have harvest ground materials. Yeah, that's exactly what always happens is if I do it before the event changes or the endeavor changes, that's when I'm going to get it. If I wait, I don't get it. It always works that way. What have I got? Herc attendance. Vath ship's plasma damage on the ground. Yeah, let's see who's got some plasma. Probably everybody's got some plasma. But while I'm waiting for Chris to be right here, I will maybe go hit those guys real quick. Have we got a plasma toy? I know we do. We must have plasma. Seriously? Oh, I have garbage plasma on this tin. Great. Well, let's go do it anyway. How much plasma do I have? Oh, good. I have 20,000 in plasma damage. Well, I guess we're going to start off with it anyway. And watch, this tune won't be set up for it anyway. Midnight. Hey, it's not perfect. Oh, that works out really well. Thought that tune had that one queued up. You also need 2 Lucari TFOs, 30 Zenkethi ships, Binary Circus. Well, Binary Circus, you're on your own for that one. Maybe we'll tackle it tonight. We will see. I'm in a lousy spot today mentally. So we will see what happens. Do you have plasma? Oh my god, why do none of my tunes have plasma weapons? Seriously? You would think. Binary circuit, if you've got a team that knows what they're doing, it's great. Otherwise, it's that matter of just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for it to queue up. There we go. She's got plasma. And a few feature probes. And what, we don't have feature probes on this one? There they are. Now we can go do some plasma. And what, she won't be queued up for home. Yay, we're queued up for home. We have plasma toys. We've got all the stuff we need. 2 Lucari TFOs and Kathy ships. Isn't Sankethi front a Lucari TFO? Oh, we can kill 2 of those with one quick throw.
We'll need to find their central computer.
Enemy life signs ahead. Get
Got the
ready
right
to
weapon,
fight.
got the right weapon. Yeah, I was going to ask you, Luxers, what you wanted to do in terms of those tunes.
Ouch! Oh no, I love the toast rod.
Good morning, Houston. How are you this morning?
Oh, just as always.
Well, that's vague.
Well, I seem to always wake up tired.
Yeah, but it's like, what, noon there?
Yeah,
So when did you wake up?
about an hour ago.
Oh, okay. I woke up an hour ago too, but that was 5 a.m. and I spent last night driving a car. So I have a really good reason to be tired.
Yeah,
Went to class last night, which, as always, ran late, which meant I didn't get home till almost midnight.
I just haven't been getting any rest at night. I sleep, but
Yeah.
I
Well,
just always wake up tired and feeling run over.
yeah, I've had some stress going on that I just learned this morning is going to be weighing on me for the next 3 months, and I'm not happy. Plus, it means I can't go to Vegas this year because I won't be able to get a real ID, as they call it here in the States, until July at the earliest. So unless I drive to Vegas,
Proceed
it's
with
not
caution.
happening this year.
I'm reading new.
At least not for the
Oh,
convention. It's the way it goes sometimes. Bummer.
is that like a recent thing?
Yeah, it goes into effect actually, I think, like tomorrow or so. Lexers, I think you're a fleet admiral in Momulan, aren't you?
Yeah. You know that in my country that went into effect when I was 12.
Well, we haven't had it. Yeah, you can do anything you want to if you're fleet admiral, Lexers. There is no train to Las Vegas.
When I was younger, like 12 years old,
Mm-hmm.
it became obligatory to have one
Well, Illinois
over
is
here.
Illinois
At least
was
one.
one of two states that did not require the real ID, and since I lived in Illinois until recently, wasn't an issue. Indiana, it's an issue, and I'm jumping through a ton of hoops to get this stuff resolved.
Uh,
But it's
Over here, when I was 12, they decided enough is enough and required everyone to have one.
yeah, no,
Because, a
it's
lot
a
of people were
pain in
just
the butt.
lying about who they were whenever they got in trouble. And then,
Oh, that that's a problem.
yeah, lying to the cops, lying to the 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 the, the people from the public transport. So a lot of people just got on the transport without paying.
Oh,
And then when they got caught, they give somebody else's address and number, somebody they knew,
yeah,
but wasn't them.
yep.
And, that was it.
That actually does happen here too.
So one time they caught me and I just blurted out my actual information, went on with my day. And then when the check came that I had to pay for it, I angrily phoned up the office and was like, "That wasn't me. I ride a bicycle to school every morning, so how the hell can I get
Oh yeah.
a fine for riding public transport?" I was adamant, and I cussed them out on the phone and everything, and they dropped it.
Wow.
Yeah, because nobody was obligated for, you know, the 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 ID. I was 12 at the time, but yeah, they shortly after that made it obligatory that everybody just carries one on them at any time. The inability to officially identify yourself is reason for the police to detain you.
Wow.
Yep.
That's kind of intense.
Well, I mean, they're just gonna figure out who you are, and then they're gonna let you go. But that can really, mess up a schedule.
Yes, it can. Do not want to do that.
And you're on your way to work with public transport. You fail to identify yourself when asked. They stop the entire transport, so everybody's going to be late on your account.
Oh, lovely.
And they're going
Yeah.
to wait for the cops to come haul you out of there.
Oh my
Doors
God.
during that are going to remain closed, and nobody's allowed to get off.
That seems kind of intense.
Yeah, well, it's to make sure that the person in violation doesn't get away.
Yeah, but even for a minor
To
infraction?
to
Or
be
even a
fair, though,
potential minor?
that that took them a few years, and then people just stopped,
Hello.
Good
Sorry,
morning,
Nick.
Chris.
breaking the law. People just reduced the amount of times that the law got broken until now it just It rarely happens, and usually that just means there's a tourist or a homeless person who got on and didn't have identification and didn't pay for their trip.
Wow.
Very rarely happens now. But
Yay.
when I was like 16, that used to happen on the regular.
I don't. I know a cop can demand an ID here, but I think they have to have a reason for asking for an ID.
Yeah, it takes less than 72 hours over here for people to be identified. Usually you're out in like 4.
That would be a problem here. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
but because everybody has a government issued ID, that information is available to the people. They
Yeah,
just have
and
to
that would be it
get
here. You're not.
somebody to deliver their ID or send the cops by their home to go look for their ID.
There isn't necessarily a reason for people to have an ID here.
What
Yeah.
are we talking about?
Okay, so the whole story is I need to get a real ID because my name on my birth certificate is spelled differently than the name on that I currently use. So
Did
imagine
we
that my
already
name
know
was
that?
Catherine and I used Kathy. And I have Kathy on everything except my birth certificate. But with the new rules for
Oh.
getting an ID, that's not acceptable. And technically kind of is, but it's not. So
Well,
I'm going through this
I
whole messy situation of trying to get this resolved so I can get a new driver's license.
My God, there's so much fuss
yeah,
about
Oh
it.
my God, it
you
is.
know, over here, that's all tied to your social security number and your official ID, and there is no, you know, okay, for a library card, maybe you can use your nickname, but for any type of thing like a driver's license or, ID card, passport, official name, bank card, official name.
Nope. You
Like
can.
if you are failing to provide your birth name, then it is considered falsifying your identity.
Nope. As long as you're not doing it for the purposes of fraud, you are allowed to use any name you want here.
Yeah, and that,
And it's not for the purposes of fraud.
yeah, and we just don't allow you using a different name. Now, on your library card, we don't care. That's not an official ID, right? But like even Facebook went that far at some point, like
Ooh.
several years ago. They started mass banning a lot of people I knew for having fake credentials on their Facebook.
Hey, I'm gonna pull rank here. Even though I brought up the topic, this is making me incredibly anxious. Could we change the topic? I mean, I'm
Sure,
feeling my
Sure.
heart pounding. And I got to deal with this for
Yeah,
3 more
let's not.
months, so maybe. Yeah, and I apologize. I brought this up.
No,
Yeah,
that's fine.
Satalia, the whole purpose of trying to make the name change here easy is for trans people. Gender and name changes are usually just a really quick announcement, and if you have a reason to be worried about it, they can even have ways to make it secure so that it's not a public issue and a judge can just hear it and you're done.
Yeah, no, and over here, trans people, once they transitioned and they go through their name change, their official IDs are changed. No muss, no fuss.
Yeah,
Right?
but it's
Like,
this next couple of months thing just gonna take a toll on
yeah,
me. Anyway,
they're
Satalia has, let's go through this one for Satalia. Two Lucari TFOs, a Zenkethi, and she's going to ignore Binary Circus, and she's going to solo Gravity Kills all by herself instead.
Oh, interesting. Ambitious. I mean, not a judge or anything like it.
Lexer says we had a PM elected under an alias here. He had spent his whole career under an alias and lied all along about everything in his background. Holy moly.
What?
Wow.
PM as in
Prime Minister? Yeah, I think that's what a PM is.
Which country are we talking about? 'Cause
That's
that sounds
Canada.
ridiculous. Wow. I thought it was like, wow. Jeez.
Good
People
morning,
are
D-Ron
ambitious.
guy. How are you doing?
I mean, I get functioning under an alias, but if you're a public official,
Ooh, happy birthday. It's D-Ron guy's birthday today. Well, technically, we're
Happy
always a year
birthday.
older every day. Just we don't celebrate them quite as much. But congratulations. Musin, do you want to join us for some Zenkethy Front?
Sure.
Okay.
ooh, how about not that happening ever?
What?
Tholians on the ground and
I have
adventure zone.
Tholians on the
is
ground too.
Very much not adventure zone. It's a nightmare zone. One Berg TFO healing ground.
I have healing ground
And
too.
Vault chips in Dyson Sphere. Ugh. Oh well. At least it's space.
Oh, they reset. Haha.
We'll reset.
I made it just in time.
Ah. What are you doing?
Oh, I had the Undine in the battle zone yesterday,
Ah. That reset.
and I just in time finished them. Normally, I don't really care for endeavors much, but it's almost the only thing left for me to do.
Satali says, I plan to tell people my birthday is June 2nd so I can ask for a Nintendo Switch 2 on release date.
Oh, there. Okay, so there's a reason not to buy it. I made a statement about you wanting to own your video games,
Yeah,
because
there you go.
they're actually giving you with the Nintendo Switch 2, the ROM for the game that you buy is actually an empty card with just an access
I mean, it's gonna
key.
be not for all. Just selected titles are gonna be like that, but it's still ridiculous.
Yeah, you're.
I want to
It's-
have a physical cartridge for it, so
Well,
I
you
can
get a
trade it.
physical cartridge, but the only information it contains is your product key.
Yeah, but that's kind of dumb, isn't it? Like, what's the point of actually having something physical then?
Well, there's two reasons for it. One, they want to be able to take it away from you when your license to their product has run out. And
I think
two,
EU is gonna have an issue with that methodology.
yeah, and two,
Wii Woo?
that's and
Yep.
this is the bigger one. Games are getting so big that it's really hard to contain that in a physical medium cartridge. So the download thing makes it so that they don't have to worry about the size of the game on cartridge. They only
I
have
mean,
to
I can
worry
understand
about
the
the
size thing.
internal storage of the device,
I
which
can
is many
understand the
times big.
size, but still, the fact that it's a license, not something you actually physically own.
Yeah, well, blame EA. They wanted that.
Lexer says, come on, a micro SD can hold 2 terabytes.
Yeah, and micro SD can literally hold quite a lot of
Yeah.
data. I have never
But-
met a game that was more than 150 gigs, maybe 180. So I'm thinking it's still doable. It's probably gonna be more expensive, but I would still rather pay for a little bit more pricier game that's physical that I can trade than be bound to an item that can be revoked at any time they wish to.
But
Guns
the
and Moopsy.
ability to put things on the on such a small storage is getting ever more expensive as resources dwindle.
Well, boo-hoo. They can always start recycling or stop paying for 3 yachts per CEO. So, you know,
Yeah,
it's fine.
got a whole bunch of voting proxies yesterday, and almost all of them are like, do you want to rehire this guy, this guy, this guy? Yeah, those guys are all doing a good job. We want to give them a raise. No. Nobody. Nope, nope, nope.
Did you know that the amount of gold that we've actually uncovered from the Earth, if you melt it all down, you can only fill like one Olympic-sized swimming pool?
Oh, not even that
Well,
big.
yeah, because
it's a
it's
lot less than
limited
that.
because we can't make more.
Well, it's
Yeah,
not
but,
that. It's just
like-
we haven't mined that much of it when you realize how little we've actually mined.
Compared to how much is actually still in the Earth, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was reading something about that like 20, 30 years ago. We haven't mined that much gold. But gold is recyclable.
It is, they say 100%, but it's 99.99% more or less
Yeah.
recyclable. Because I've seen people try and recycle gold.
And they just get off me. I can't launch the bomb because there's always a battleship
where are
that's shooting. Very south. I mean, I can destroy it, but it's just like. Can they fluff off now? Is it
It says they're all
gone?
fluffed
No,
off. I don't see any
No,
red.
there's still one frigate that's flying above me, just like. Oh, I'm going to melt you. There you go. Nice
Is
and
he melted?
Yeah, but there's another frigate from the behind.
Okay,
Oh my
fine.
god.
I'm there. I'm there. No, you got him.
I think
I shall
I got
watch
them
and make
all.
sure nobody comes out from the dark to spook you.
I've been trying to launch this for like a minute now. It's like, no, hi, we just fired a random bolt at you. You're stuck. It's relaunching.
I'm clearing out a place here if somebody wants to come drop a bomb on it.
Gonna acquire myself a bomb. Oh, we got a bomb. Where are you again?
I am at
Go
the southernmost of the two.
Erecting over there. It's gonna take a moment.
I'm just going to take me a
Actually-
minute to clear this all out.
And
Just got the battleship left. Good morning, Zez.
the fact that you can't go full impulse, but you have to go all this way.
Mm-hmm.
Slow as a snail. It's so much fun. Such a fun mechanic, isn't it?
Well, you're carrying something big and heavy.
Oh, I got.
Yeah, because there's
Yeah.
heaviness in space. That would actually slow me down.
I hope you're getting yours and Kathy's ships, Italia, since that's one of the two reasons we're doing this. There it is. I'm stressed out of my brain, Zez. Thanks for asking.
Right light.
Anybody
Maybe
got a
spiders
bomb?
have hydraulics. No, I don't have a bomb. I'm just trying to do a bomb.
Somebody go get a bomb, because this thing's going to die in a moment here.
But 2 days ago, max temperature was 15 degrees Celsius. Currently it's 27.
Yeah, sounds about right for this time of year.
No, not ever like 10, 15 degrees difference. No, never
Oh,
had
no,
that.
that's...
It used to be gradual.
No, what
This
we
is like
tend to
too
get
much.
is freezing one day, and then all of a sudden we get a nice sunny day. It jumps up 70 degree to 70. Then it goes way back down. Then it goes back up. So for like a month here, it's just miserable.
I mean, there were anomalies, like ways when there would be an occasional snow in
Oh, we get that
April or
crazy
something
stuff
like
too.
it. But this has been like, it's been mild and lovely. Now
Great.
suddenly it's super hot, and that's never happened like this. Like,
Really? That...
not to disagree.
No, we've had that since I was a kid. Well, we got the starbase bombed. Thank you very much.
I was trying, but I got killed.
Didn't try hard enough.
Yeah.
It says I'm in the process of trying to get my first name legally recognized the name I have used all of my life is different from how it's spelled on my birth certificate. I'm trying to get legally changed what I've used all of my life. Which is a pain in the butt. Not my last name. Well, if we ever get a bomb here, Blexers, I'm going to go look it up and see.
There?
Okay.
Somebody grab a bomb?
I got a bomb.
Anyone?
Where am I going? Hopefully I can find this place. Here it is.
We're at the space clearing it off. Be good to go.
Finally. Finally.
Oh. This ship is not really tanky.
It doesn't need to be super
Or
tanky for this
fast.
one.
No, I've got one that's kind of on the slow side.
Were you flying using?
The legendary temporal flight deck carrier.
Oh, legendary Darnie. Okay. So she's a
Yeah.
weak. So she's a weak ship, other than the survival side.
Well, the way I've built it, she's supposed to ramp up a lot of energy damage. But it's kind of a glass cannon.
Okay,
With
currently,
very little force.
all the gold ever mined, this is as of 2024, if it was put together in one space, would fit into a cube 22 meters, i.e. 73 feet, on a side.
Big, but it's
Yep.
not much.
That's throughout history, and they're making some guesstimates.
Yeah.
But
It's-
because people reuse gold over and over and over and over, and of that, what's interesting is over a third of that is just gold reserves.
I've seen
Wow.
how they have a gold farm somewhere in South America.
Gold farm.
They grow gold.
The only thing I can call it. And they're getting gold dust out of
Oh, yeah.
like the soil and water. It is so minuscule and still worth the profit of like
Gold
mining
is a
it.
softer type of metal, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not exactly a tough metal, is it? Or am I
No, it's really
wrong?
soft.
Yeah.
It is non-liquid, but one of the softest metals, same as lead.
Yeah. Good morning, Cliff.
That is why gold is not always pure.
Gold is rarely pure.
Yeah, most worn golden jewelry
Mm-hmm.
are not pure.
Yep.
Yeah, they're hardened because they need additional like
Yeah, pure gold, super
blend.
soft. I'm
It's so
skeptical
soft
about this.
you can.
This is from the World Gold. Let's see what that was called.
That's interesting. There's two materials of the same name. They differ.
This
The
is
cube mom
from a
described is
place.
pretty
Oh,
big.
this is the World Gold Council.
The cube that mom described is pretty big in 3 dimensions.
Yeah, I mean,
And
73 feet by 73 feet by 73 feet is a lot of gold.
it
That's
is a lot of gold. But when you look at how much gold we use in devices and for jewelry,
Hmm.
that is minuscule compared to that cube.
Yeah.
And remember, there were a lot of, cash for gold places.
Oh, yeah.
They they got a lot of that gold back and recycled it into
Well,
the
yeah.
cube.
Yeah. I mean, now if you want to get really interesting, what was it? They were doing some calculations on the amount of gold that was mined in South America and then was taken by various colonials back to Europe, but lost at sea. Or just lost because people
Yeah,
stole
there's
it.
so much of it at the bottom of the sea, like
Yeah.
the pirate ships and like convoys that was sank, but the cargo never retrieved because it got lost.
Yep.
Bad weather.
Bad. Oh yeah, absolutely bad weather. What do we have next?
I have Borg TFOs. Actually, one, just one, but still.
You said you
A
had a
Borg
board.
TFO is a Borg. Yeah,
board
Borg TFO is a Borg TFO.
Got a preference?
Um,
Well,
you,
Okay.
if you ask.
you gotta imagine the snorks are sitting on a fortune.
And
Because
I'm
the
sure
galleons
they're
sang.
keeping it safe.
We will.
Will.
Uh, yep.
Fell off the back of a
Taylor.
truck. Satalia needs a second Lucari TFO. We will see about that one, Satalia, because there is only one Lucari TFO.
Yeah, the game mode only has one. And so much we can do.
Joshua, all his tunes are now level 65. Grats, Joshua. Okay, but then the question lectures would be, how pure was that gold? I mean, if it was just solid gold, pure gold, yep, that would kind of throw off those numbers. But maybe it had
Yeah.
already been mined and was just being shipped again. If it's a second thing, they're just passing it around and around and around. Why did they give you two Lucari TFOs? Satalia, it's the same reason they do things like that to Borg King. They hate you. They hate you.
Yep, very much true.
It's like when I get 60 Tholians on Nukara day after day after day. I know it's random, but they still hate me.
Yep. I brought my flight deck cruiser. Flight deck carrier. I don't know why they renamed it. Originally it was flight deck cruiser, and then they suddenly decided to change the name of the entire class into a flight deck carrier, which is kind of dumb when you call it Constitution.
Oh, Mom
How many-
Hydration. Mom Hydration today is Best Boy. We're doing Best Boy again today. Thank you.
Oh, it's very simple.
But with a
How
shot
many
of
hangers
hazelnut.
does it have?
Sorry, you were saying, Musen?
How many hangers does it have?
Well, two, but it doesn't technically.
There you go.
Yeah,
Oh,
but it doesn't change the fact that the carrier can also have two hangars.
Yeah, I
They were
know.
just
But
adamant about naming.
So, Satalia and Joshua, for one of you, I have to go get a second cup. Once we're done here, I will go take care of that. And thank you. Thank you very much for the coffee.
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 Nothing beats the beauty of blue discovery beams. EOS approximation, but they're really good. They sound good, they look good.
Bright light.
Already?
Yep. I'm trying to get my perk under the cooldown.
The Scorpion fighters are nice, Cliff. I'm aiming for 3.
Just as I'm approaching 2.
Okay.
Right here, I haven't deployed yet. No white probes.
Just tell me it's over there. I don't need to worry about that one then.
Okay, how did they pass by me? And my fighters, hello? What is that?
You don't have stealth of any sort on, do you?
What?
You don't have any kind of stealth on, do you?
No, not on this ship. But they have, because I haven't seen them, and suddenly I see them at the point, already the point that red beam, and I'm like, excuse me, I'm guarding here. It's just rude.
Alexers points out that in the NR reputation, which I'm assuming is Nukara, you can get Scorpion fighters or Scorpion fighter squadrons.
New Romulus, I think.
New Romulus, thank you.
Yeah, I use them, yeah. Squadrons consist of 3 ships, I think, right?
Pardon?
Usually.
Yeah.
Squadrons.
Oops, there's a... Oh, good, so I got it. The simulator was thinking about leaving.
No, don't exaggerate. Did that
What, we haven't done one yet? Goodness gracious.
6, 7 somehow, and 1 isn't started. I'm gonna do the 6 now. So, what are anyone's thoughts about the greatest humanity's achievement by Katy Perry and friends?
What?
You haven't heard? She
No.
went to space and suddenly the world changed and everything is about love.
Clearly, it has changed the
Right,
entire
like-
universe.
The crap that she was spewing out of herself when she landed was like, I'm sorry, did you take drugs over there? Did they change oxygen tanks for like helium so it gets you hallucinogenic? Because that's not normal what you're saying. Like like she didn't even push a button there. She was there as a tourist, and it probably cost her like a lot of money.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
So,
That or somebody gave it to her.
like, come on. And like, so is it the other girl? I don't know, the other woman.
Hmm.
I don't know. She's probably some sort of celebrity, but I don't know who she is. Because all celebrities in America are actually known.
Oh, don't ask me. I have no
But
idea
like,
who anybody is.
I don't know. She said like, oh, it's a great thing for women, and I'm like, how? I mean, there were two other women, I think.
There's a lot of
And they're
women.
not
Maybe.
even the first women to go into space.
Not even close.
They didn't even get to a space station or anything like it. They didn't even.
So they just
work
did one of those
like,
or super orbital flights.
15
Yeah,
minutes
they-
being in space. Yeah, literally
They
11
went
minutes of being in
just
space.
into orbit and then back down.
Yeah, Katy Perry apparently sang "What a Beautiful World."
Well, it
It's
is.
like-
It is. It's a very
It's
pretty
like-
planet.
Yeah. Probably would have been better if you didn't come back.
Ooh,
What?
ooh. No, we don't need to say that.
I'm sorry, I just like vanity of these people.
Oh
like,
yeah, there's
And the
totally.
profound stuff that was like, I mean, like, it sounds like a waste of
What?
oxygen, really.
The lack of awareness on how incredibly many
pollutive.
people have already gone to space.
And how extremely polluted was their little trip, the tourist attraction. Like, no one's gonna take the experience away from me. No one's gonna take it. No one wants it. Like, come on.
She can't even say that she beat Shatner there.
Yeah.
Something is disrupting the stitching network.
You know, so like, how incredible is it really?
I'm like, how detached from reality you gotta be to be like so super excited. I mean, I get it, it's an exciting experience for you because you can't afford it.
I
But
heard
it's-
they screamed all the way up.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, well, they got launched in a rocket. That goes fast.
Yes, it does go
Because
fast.
the pressure is something you're not prepared for. Like, unlike all.
Wow, they did have a
you know,
full physical examination
Yeah.
before going up into space. You
One
can't
Yeah,
would
they-
say-
expect.
One would expect, but it's still half, like, the fracture of the training that real astronauts go through, right?
We got an ad coming in about 20 seconds, so I doubt we'll be done with this. But for those of you watching the ad, these ships won't be here when you come back. They better not be here when you come back. I'll just say it that way.
Well,
And
let me
love
do
thing that
something
goes
about that
firing,
then.
like, speaking of also astronauts and stuff like that, I remember a book, and I'm still so salty that it never got to a movie. And funny enough, the title of the book is Gravity,
Mm-hmm.
which is just funny because I thought that the Sandra Bullock film
Yes.
from a few years back, titled Gravity, is an adaptation of that book. But it turns out no,
There
it
we
has
go.
nothing to do with it. Although it exists, the topic is mildly similar to being in space and on the ISS, partially. The book Gravity by Tess Gerritsen, I absolutely love the author, by the way. If you ever seen the Rizzoli and Styles, I think, whatever
I
the
don't
name. The
think so.
It's a criminal investigative detective TV show about two female leads. One is a prosecutor and the other one is a cop. And they kind of like
No.
create a duo. Really good. It's on Prime actually. I mean, at least the first season was good. The other one was like, but the Gravity was about. Well, it was actually with a female lead, which was really cool. And it's about people finding some sort of. Feels like cellular organism at the bottom of the ocean,
Oh.
but because of the pressure, like you can't just develop. So they took it to space, into ISS,
Yeah.
and it starts to evolve.
Of
And
course
it
it does.
becomes something that infects people, but then again, it grows from a single cell organism into something multicellular. And it becomes some sort of a chimera and a potential infection. But the story around it, the description of, and it was very well researched because the author is a clinical surgeon, so very well researched medical practitioner. For years, she worked at a hospital, so she's seen a lot of stuff. So the way she describes people being affected by it was really inspired by the stuff she's seen in real life. It was very well medically researched. And it was such a good thriller. I couldn't put it down. I read it a few times. I still plan to reread it because every time I read a book, it just gives me a different vibe. And I'm so pissed because New Line Cinema bought rights to it years when the book was out
I think
freshly,
you're so mean.
and they just they just end up they buy it just to sit on it because they have no any other
I
idea what
think
to do with it. It's
we've kind of talked
such an
about that too.
annoyance. Yeah.
I'm
Annoyance.
gonna step out for just one sec. I will be right back.
Sure.
I suddenly realized something about Katy Perry being so excited she went into orbit for a sec.
Oh,
Yeah, like
what was that?
she had gone where like monkeys and dogs have gone before.
Yeah, and she kind of fills the role of a monkey, really. I mean, understand that there is an investment in this, because generally, when they
Uh,
bring a celebrity to a space related project or something like it,
but
they try to attract investors
you
in this,
you
right?
have to be aware that this was a commercial like
It
space
was, but
flight preparation, and this is just a
it does have.
publicity stunt to get the company that sent them into space to compete with SpaceX.
Yeah, I understand that, but that is supposed to be attracting investors to invest into that company rather than any other,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. But
But yeah,
they make
still,
it
like from a
they hype
scientific
it
point
up.
of view, that is absolutely worthless stunt that
Yeah,
is just
but
polluted the world
I
and
I I doubt she'd be as excited as you know if she realized that monkeys, dogs, and even cars have gone further than she went.
well, yeah.
You know,
Unfortunately, when
like
it comes to dogs, it didn't end well for them, so I would rather not
neither for the
repeat that.
monkeys.
Yeah.
But like, w- how excited can you really be to go somewhere where people have
Where
gone before, and then in a sort of a fashion that you just get like catapulted up, and you just float there for a second just before the capsule starts coming down again. Like it, they didn't even break orbit. They
yeah.
just they just stuck their head above the water, were weightless for a moment, and then went back down. Like that's it.
It doesn't seem worth any money.
And no, it is such a waste of money, but it's all a publicity stunt to get the company that shot him up
Who was it?
into the stratosphere there that to get some hype and get some investors and like hopefully start doing trips into low orbit
Yeah, no.
on the regular
I,
at some point.
before we do anything else, I got about 10 minutes left here. What do we want to do? I know that Satali wants another Lucari TFO, which I'm not going to do because we have not cleaned up from Zenkethi front yet, or have we? Nope, we're still got another 7 minutes, so we won't get another Zenkethi. Yeah, of course, Cliff, you can
We
join.
can do Jupiter. Okay, we haven't done that
Jupiter
for a
works for
while.
me. Let me get Cliff in here. Good morning, mighty Archimedes. How are you doing? You want to do Jupiter or Rhodas? Says, where's my space hotel? When I was in high school, I was promised a space hotel.
No, we haven't built one yet, so you gotta wait. But make your reservations fast, 'cause, you know.
People have already reserved their spots in the first resort that's going to be built on Mars.
I'm pretty sure there is a place
Even,
that reserved you a
even
plot
though they're not going to
for
be
burial
alive by the
somewhere
time
on
that
Mars.
happens.
Wee woo?
We will indeed.
Are you talking about G-Cucks, Mighty Archimedes? Yeah.
Jupiter erotic? Excuse me, this is PG stream. What are you talking about?
No, it's Jupiter Erotica. Yeah, Mighty
my
Archimedes, we saw the Gundam movie that showed basically the uh, storyline jump from the premise to the first episode or first two episodes of G-Cucks. I'm not sure which. And now I see it's on Netflix or Prime or something, so I'm going to have to catch up. First three, maybe? They condensed it down to about an hour's worth of the new stuff, and it looked pretty good. It was enjoyable. I just have to
Ooh,
go and
Star Wars
watch it.
published a clip from Andor season 2.
Two? Yeah. Didn't they do that a while ago, or were they just talking about it?
No, it was 21 hours ago, so it was published,
Okay.
yes.
I love it when we beam in. Occasionally
Wait,
people come in as people first.
Wait,
What?
what?
What? What?
Oh,
Oh, this looks so good. Did you get
okay.
that?
What?
I saw a ship warping backwards
Oh, that's
and
fun.
just flip around me.
I've seen people warping as before they change into ships.
Well,
in
that
these
just
games.
happened. I don't know if it was Cliff or Musin, but somebody came in as a person before the ship.
Wow, we have 3 versions of Connie. I like this.
Mm.
I like this
I,
very
I
much.
think it was Cliff who warped in like backwards for me. So
Yeah, that
you know,
happens sometimes.
Visuals are always good.
Yep.
I've like not loaded up. Oh Lord,
What do you mean?
that was
Why
insane.
is my targeting not working? This is so annoying.
Melt.
If we ever
do
get
a
a nice
full
rainy
phase
day
of
when I've got
thing.
nothing to do, Mighty Archimedes, I will sit down and go through the whole thing again. Alrighty, I guess I'm at Alpha for the moment.
Oh Lord.
What?
What the hell? What's happening? Are you reacting like you saw a ghost?
I don't
Oh,
know.
I was like taking a lot of damage there.
Hmm.
That is making
Did your
you
traits
an
disappear?
Oh Lord reaction.
I wonder.
See if your traits or something disappeared. Why is my
Well, I
targeting so messed
draw
up
a
today?
serious amount of aggro.
Hmm.
Nor.
We've got hostiles on the station. They're breaching our system.
Why are there 2 enterprises here?
Oh, because I can pull them in on one of my things.
No, but I'm not near you. Probably. Cliff, is it? What duck is Cliff? Right?
We've got hostiles on the station. They're breaching our systems.
Do you eat like normal eggs for Easter, or is it just chocolate eggs?
Normal eggs. You know, we do the old school traditional dye them and decorate them type thing.
Alright.
Get those rifts under control.
Well, of course, not at $6 a dozen. I'm not, but
Yeah, so I've heard you had some deficiency.
we have an issue with our chickens. I mean, it's still cheap protein, but
Wow! $6. Oh my god, I could have like $3. Look at that.
All over the days of the teeth. Oh. It stole data. It stole data. Ah. Somebody get me my SIM-tribe Android back.
says Easter has been canceled. No. There's still lots of licorice jelly
mean-
beans out there. We're good.
Oh, it has been for me, but
I mean, my Easter is just gonna be me playing games and eating hard-boiled eggs with mayo,
Well,
but...
we were supposed to do something for Easter, but that's on Sunday, and as of yet, we haven't decided if we're doing anything. So I'm just going to suggest, you know, it's extra day off for my son. So why not just take the day off?
Yeah, I got Monday off as well.
Yeah, well, you guys get Easter Monday. We don't. But he's got Monday off anyway.
You need to get those rifts under control.
And because Saturday's a holiday too, I'm gonna get that off as well. Not mean that I
So
don't
do you
work
get-
on Saturday, but I gotta get that. I can claim it on the next
Do
day.
you guys get Friday or part of Friday?
No,
Okay.
I mean it depends on where you work, but in my line of work, they want that you off early because the US is still working and all the other countries are support.
Typically,
Fortunately,
Good Friday
that's
is
the
like a
price.
half day for a lot of businesses.
Yeah, I mean normally yeah, but it really depends where. Like if
Mhm.
you're working for something that only works and supports here locally and not an emergency kind of thing, then they would probably just go halfway through the day. But my company actually provides
another read.
software and support for that software all over the world, so not kind of local. Actually, there may be two companies that actually are located in Poland that actually use our services and our software. Everything else is US or Europe based, but like elsewhere. But, you know, there's always volunteers for extra pay,
yeah.
so it's not like we are ever forced to work on holidays or anything like that. Because we could, like, my previous companies, when we were working like 24/7 support, we sometimes would just, you have no choice, you have to come to work on holiday. But here, not much. So I've never had to work on any single holiday for 3 years I've been here. It's always like, if there are volunteers, we can just have someone else come in. They can always have the extra money, the company doesn't have,
Are you kidding me with
doesn't have
this?
issue paying extra hours,
Give
got
up
extra
on
pay. Sometimes even 300%. But the same goes for weekends and stuff.
Don't even try.
She got out of there quick.
Yeah.
The Enterprise is going for projector out.
Just seen on one of the archaeology accounts regarding Pompeii.
Oh,
Did you know that Pompeii actually had a drainage system that still worked?
yep. Well, makes sense. I mean,
Like
Rome
for
was
once
very
they built
aware
the
of water
streets-
supplies.
They no, it's like water drainage for floodings, like
Yeah.
when there's too much rain and stuff like that, and they still have a fully functional, intact water drainage system, and the streets are built in a way that you actually just, you know, there's always a slope on the streets. They never built them straight flat. There's always a slope. The sidewalks, which are like on the side of the road for pedestrians, were built
You know what?
on an elevated
Well done.
level, so they could like never be flooded, and the side of the streets would just drain the water into the drainage system, and it will be distributed away from the city. And I'm like, we have drainage systems in my city
Mm-hmm.
that get over flooded and overwhelmed by the amount of water, and they literally flood the lower part of of like I don't know underground passages and stuff. I'm
Hang
just
on a
like
sec here.
mind-boggled.
Zez says, I'm getting the crap kicked out of me in episode home, and I was trying to figure out why until I realized I'm playing at Elite. Done that. Cat and Box.
Owie,
Will it be
ouchie,
okay if I
ouchie.
put 2 isomags and 1 neutronium alloy in the engineering slot? Yeah. I mean, it's not optimum, but if you've got it, it's fine. I'm not a huge fan
Yeah.
of the neutronium alloy, though there's nothing wrong with it.
They're not a game changer, and
Yeah.
you can probably boost your resistances in other means.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if you've got only 2 isomags and 1 neutronium alloy, put them in. Go for it.
Yeah. Unless you have like a special universal console that boosts.
Yeah,
That would be better.
I would say if that's the best you've got, absolutely, there's no reason not to.
Yep.
Yeah, Mighty Archimedes says a DPRM is better for survivability. Yeah, you got a spare sitting around? I have 1 DPRM out of my 50 plus tunes. Thank you very much.
Can that be the surprise in the Kinder eggs this Easter?
Yeah, everybody gets a DPRM.
A DPRM for everyone?
Yeah, if only you have the permission to have Kinder eggs, right?
Yeah, I don't do Kinder eggs. They're here. They've got them. It's just ugh.
I heard they only banned Kinder eggs in countries where they put the entire egg in their mouth in one go, which is kind of stupid.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
Only kinda.
Like, you should enjoy your chocolate egg, not try to swallow it whole.
Yeah, not like devour it like on the.
Hey, Mighty Archimedes, I thought I did buy the Muds pack with the Atlas as a claimable, and when I went to actually use it, I could not find it on any of my accounts. And I have no idea what happened to it. But that's life. Anyway, I'm out of here, folks. I've got things to go stress and panic over, so I have my priorities in all the wrong spots. Let me get everybody off the team.
Panic.
I'm sorry, I just am wrapping my head around everything horrible that could go wrong with this, and I've got to deal with it for the next 3 months. 3 months.
Not gonna go horrible. There's no reason to it.
Yeah, but that's just the way my brain's going. I can't deal with it. So I'm.
We'll keep lying to it. Keep telling it it's wrong.
My brain's pretty powerful. It likes to fixate on bad things.
That's the same brain that's very powerful, telling itself that it's wrong. You know, it has the same power of suggestion.
I know. All right, I'm out of here, everybody. I will talk to you tonight. So have a wonderful day. And as we like to say around here, stay moopsy.
Moopsy, Moopsy. Shun the non-believer. Shun.